in his many classic cars.
Hey, she was in a Lincoln. I
And
believe.
he's got a Lincoln.
And he's got a Lincoln.
He's got a Lincoln.
He's got Maggie. Welcome back to Bourbon Theory. I'm Bill.
I'm Josh. And this is BREWZLE'S whiskey. Oak Bowery blend number 1. So, to the best of my knowledge, these are some Old Dominic barrels.
Yep. Plus the Kansas Distillery.
Wheat Stave,
TJ
I
Bob.
think is what it was called.
I can't.
Wheat Stave, something like that.
Well, Kansas is a wheat state. Yeah.
Yeah. So he purchased a distillery, a lot of the equipment, and I think all of the barrels. Brought them back to Opelika, Alabama, and blended up his first
Driving
thing.
Miss Daisy, by the way.
And
driving Mr. Gamble.
driving Mr. Gamble in his many classic cars.
Hey, she was in a Lincoln. I
And
believe.
he's got a Lincoln.
And he's got a Lincoln.
He's got a
He's
Lincoln.
got Maggie.
So this is the very first blend, the very first release from anything of BREWZLE'S brand. He's, of course, building his own distillery, going to a ton of distilleries. He's going to contract source from what used to be Southern Distilling, which is 15 minutes down the road from us, which is now Statesville Contract Distilling, which we actually have a free tour from them. So we should get that scheduled and do that. But this is his very first blend. It's 123 proof. And he was very open and honest in his review of it, saying
he was
that he had the labels pre-ordered as cast strength. And he wishes that he could go back in time and undo that cast strength.
And proof it down just a touch.
And proof it just a bit.
Just a bit of water.
So we're going to try it without proofing it. And then we will also attempt to proof it down to a point in which we think he probably thinks. Because his palate and our palates aren't terribly different.
Right.
So
the only thing we are way off on
is the Bullet 12 rye.
Bullet 12 rye. That is the worst thing. Not the worst thing, let me say, but it's one of the top 3 worst things.
Yeah. So we're very excited to try this. I saw his video on BREWZLE'S channel, obviously, where all the mistakes I made when blending my first whiskey, that one. And at the end of it, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's available on my website to buy if you want." And I was like, you know what? That would make for a great video, a great series of videos. So keep your eyes peeled for that. There will be a series coming with this bottle that we continue to do. And I'm pretty excited for this. BREWZLE was the first channel. Sorry, I cut you off there. BREWZLE was the first channel that I found when I started getting into whiskey and sort of got me excited for the hunt, seeing what bottles are out there that I should be paying attention to. And to be honest, a lot of his Old Dominic we have because of BREWZLE. There's a couple of brands we have here. Hard Truth was for you, but for me it was BREWZLE.
Yeah.
I
For
found
me,
out Hard Truth from BREWZLE.
For me, it was Judy at Coloma Liquors in Wisconsin. So
he told me about Peerless, and I love Peerless now. So DJ BREWZLE, thank you, sir. Let's try your whiskey.
Brown sugar, graham cracker.
Oh yeah. A little funkiness.
Yeah, there's a little something underneath that.
Definitely some ethanol. Not a ton of oak on the nose.
No, but I have a feeling there's going to be some on the palate.
I do too.
There's a touch of rye on the nose there as well. I mean, this is 4, 5, 6 layers.
Yeah, I mean, this is fairly complex. So everybody, if you have not subscribed yet, we'd greatly appreciate it if you would.
That's our channel, by the way. We'd like you to subscribe too. But hey, while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed to BREWZLE, go ahead. But hit us first.
That'd be great. Thank you. Hit the like button if you're liking what you're seeing so far. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date on what we're doing. Leave us a comment because we'd love to talk to you. And share with a friend because we'd love to talk to them too. You ready to get into this thing?
We're ready to go.
To your health.
So the sugars come through.
Yeah, big time.
But it's more of a sugar than it is a brown sugar or caramel. That oak's coming in now.
Proof is there big time.
Yeah, this really drinks like an old Dominic cask. First thing in my mind.
But there was a funkiness on the finish.
Yeah, this is probably got a. I'm going to guess that Kansas is a wheat.
I believe most of their stuff was, if it was not wheat whiskey, it was heavily wheated.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I think there is some brown sugar on the palate.
Yeah,
and I'd agree with your graham cracker note. There's a little bit of that, like coated, bready, crumbly, so to speak.
I'm going to do one. I was thinking about two.
Yeah, we'll start with one. Start with one and take a very small sip. See what that does to the palate. Very thick.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the longest finish. It's not short.
No, the oak is hanging in there.
Yes.
And there's a lot of Old Dominic in here.
Yeah.
A lot of the traits of Old Dominic cask.
Which is a bottle we love.
It is. It is.
It's super solid.
It's great.
Nose didn't change too much. There's a little bit more of that funk.
Yeah, and there's a little bit more ethanol.
Maybe a little butterscotch now.
I can agree with that.
Just a hint. Interesting.
Sweeter.
Oh, wow.
A little more spicy.
That changed a lot.
Yeah. It got considerably better.
Yes.
It's a touch tannic.
Just a little, but
I'm going to drop a second drop now.
I'm going to as well. I will say that the tannins really took a backseat to the sweetness this time.
They're coming.
Oh, it's there. On the finish, it is really, I'm getting it like on down in my neck here a little bit. There's some definite heat to this. It's still tannic, but the first sip was considerable.
Mm-hmm.
Second sip was becoming a little bit more minor.
Yeah.
Much that butterscotch came through on the palate that time.
The butterscotch is hanging on the nose now too.
Sticking with that graham cracker note that you gave.
Oh yeah, it's there. There's like graham
Definitely
cracker, brown sugar. For me, brown sugar always reminds me of oatmeal raisin cookies. If the best oatmeal raisin cookies are made with brown sugar.
I think I'd probably agree with that.
I mean,
those are probably my second favorite cookie of all time. Judge me.
Don't worry, they will.
A lot sweeter.
Yeah.
Boy.
Tamp the oak.
Down again.
Yeah.
Which I do believe it needed it.
Brought the rye a little more forward.
Mm-hmm. So this is, if I remember correctly, this is their high rye mash bill from Old Dominic and their low rye mash bill blended with a wheat state.
123 proof.
First sip it drank over.
I'm just gonna, if you were to proof this to about 118.
I was gonna say 118.
You know, I think that's where the sweet spot on this is gonna be.
Mm-hmm. And I think the more it opens, the more it'll get closer to that. But man, it
ain't bad.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. The only thing, what was it, like $117 plus?
$99 plus tax and shipping.
Okay, so 100. Yeah,
it was 117 altogether.
I mean, so for a craft whiskey, you're always going to wind up paying a bit of a premium on a craft,
especially when it's like this and it's purchased barrels, blended barrels.
Yeah.
Those are going to be a little more expensive because you have the upfront cost of purchasing the barrel. Whereas you distill it yourself, you have a lot more control and your pricing and all that. You get to decide how much you want to spend on your grain and yada, yada, yada.
And I would venture that TJ ain't making any money on this.
No, he actually made it clear that in his video that if he wanted to make money, he would have had to charge about $200. That what he did with this was he broke pretty much even.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not an easy business to get in.
No, it is not. Yeah, he mentioned a few things that he would have gone with different bottles because these don't exactly sit flush. I don't know if that's coming through on camera.
That shelf is perfect. I'm telling you right now.
It is. That he didn't love the bottles. He had to over-purchase the bottles to get them at a price that was reasonable, so he has a bunch of spare bottles lying around. Again, he would have not done this at cask strength. He would have removed that from the label and then proofed it himself.
Yeah.
So he pre-purchased the labels for it. So again, that was another thing he mentioned about doing different.
At the end of the day, the bottle doesn't make a difference.
Nope.
None of the label
doesn't make a difference.
All that makes a difference is
what
the
is
juice.
in it.
That makes a difference. And I would say this. This is a good juice.
Damn good job, TJ.
Yeah, I would agree.
Damn good job.
I would agree. So
much so that I'm going to finish it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a little tannic.
That is the, you know what? The longer it sits, the more it fades.
But even though it's tannic, there's a great deal of sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, he mentioned that those wheat stave or wheat state barrels had a little bit of that harsh oak tannin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a part of that deal to get that equipment was purchasing the barrels.
Well,
so he needed to do something with it. And he mentioned doing some of them as a single barrel.
I mean, honestly, the equipment is worth, there's a certain amount that it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
But the barrels can be exponentially more depending on how they are.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure that he tasted from them before he bought.
Yes, he did.
And everything. So,
I mean, that's a pretty darn good bottle.
Yeah.
I'm not upset with the price point.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
I think that going forward, he's aiming for a lower price point from the stuff he's going to contract from just down the road from us.
Yeah.
Which, hey, Bruzel, if you're ever in the area.
Yeah, when you're in the area.
You're picking barrels, come on by. Shoot us a message. Our email's in the description.
Yep.
Just saying.
We check it occasionally.
Just saying. I check it every day.
So, like a really good bourbon, our videos get better with time.
And as always, take care of yourselves.